All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So I literally just got home from the dentist, and I actually recorded this video as I was in the parking lot of the dentist when I was procrastinating on going in, but for whatever reason, the audio didn't save. But in any case, Matt Miller from ESPN is reporting that the New York Jets are heavily linked to wide receiving prospect Jaxon Smith-Nijigba. Not only just with the 15th overall pick, but there's a chance that the Jets could actually move up in the draft, trade up to go land JSN here. Now, this is kind of my take on it, and it really hasn't changed since free agency. When I look at the Jets wide receiving room, I'm satisfied there. Allen Lazard, McCole Hardman, offensive rookie of the year, Garrett Wilson, Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, they've both raved about Corey Davis this offseason. Denzel Mims is still on the roster. Like, I know we traded Elijah Moore, but I got to be honest, if this is the group going into next year, I'm not like freaking out, hitting the panic button. What's going on at wide receiver? We need help. We have nobody. We need more depth. We need more talent. Not in the least. Not in the least. I feel really, really good about the room. With that said, though, would JSN make this team better? 1,000% yes. If he's on the board at 15, I am heavily, heavily considering that. Here's the kicker, though. If it requires the Jets to trade up in the draft, aka give away more picks to move up to select him, that's where I get a little weary. If I'm trading up for anybody, it's going to be the best offensive lineman in the class. In my opinion, I think Paris Johnson at tackle makes a ton of sense for the Jets. I don't think you could go wrong with Peter Skoronski as well. But that's kind of my mindset, right? If I'm trading up, I'm going after O-line. To me, we don't have a third round pick because of the Elijah Moore trade, right? We swapped 5th and 6th with Green Bay with the whole Aaron Rodgers thing. We don't have a one of 2 seconds because of the Aaron Rodgers trade. We don't have a 7th this year because of Chuck Clark. Essentially no first round pick next year. I don't want to be in a position where we're trading more picks away to land a guy that, plays a position that I already feel pretty good about. I think this is what should happen. If the Jets are going to be moving in this draft, I would much rather prefer the Jets to move down as opposed to up. Get future draft capital, or maybe load up in the middle rounds. There's been a couple of teams down at the bottom of round 1 that there's been rumors that they could potentially move up. New York Giants, Minnesota Vikings. I think with the Vikings, it's interesting because that really depends on how the quarterback market is looking like. Will one fall? But then also you can push back and say, hey, you know what? Why would Minnesota trade, more picks to go land a quarterback, and he's not going to be on the roster? He's not going to be the starting quarterback for the team next year. We all know Kirk Cousins' current deal. With the Giants, they could very well target a wide receiver, bottom round 1, Johnson from TCU, Flowers from Boston College. But if they really want Smith-Njigba, I could see them sliding all the way up to 15. But I got to be honest, just my honest take here, I think he's going to Green Bay at 13. I don't think the Green Bay Packers, understanding that the New England Patriots are picking 14th, they really need help at wide receiver. JSN really is, I don't want to say the consensus number 1 wide receiver in the class, but there's a lot of people that really hold him in a high regard, and rightfully so. I mean, the guy's an absolute beast. I think he's going to snag a ton of catches, yards after the catch, working in the middle of the field. Just a guy who could really do a lot of damage, especially if he's like the number 2, number 3 option within the offense. But understanding that the Patriots really need help at wide receiver, they're almost desperate there. They were linked to DeAndre Hopkins. I guess they could still go out and get him. They were linked to Odell Beckham Jr. Yes, they did bring in Juju Smith-Schuster, which is an underrated move. I feel like it's not talked about enough. But I could see them going JSN. Green Bay really needs help at wide receiver. So according to Joe Douglas, that decision, that move in the trade came kind of as like a last minute thing, and the Jets were fine with it. So there's a reason why Green Bay did that. They're not just doing that just to say, all right, hopefully somebody cool is there, somebody we like is there. No, I think they're moving up 2 spots strategically ahead of the New England Patriots, getting it done before the draft, to days before the NFL draft, not months, days before the NFL draft. So they have their evaluations in place. And I think 13 or sorry, I think JSN is totally in play for Green Bay at 13. Right, the whole premise, in my opinion, I'm not a Packer fan, but the whole premise of this class is to make sure that Jordan Love has enough talent. If I'm Green Bay, I know they need some help on at offensive line, but I'm going Smith-Njigba at 13, and I'm selecting the best available tight end in the second round, right? With one of the picks that they got, either their pick or the Jets pick. But that's just my personal opinion. I think if I was the Jets, I would be looking to move back on draft night as opposed to moving up. If we do move up, I'm hoping for an offensive lineman though. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. The Aaron Rodgers press conference is coming up in, I want to say just over an hour here. So I am totally excited. I cannot wait for it. And of course, I'm going to be doing a press conference breakdown afterwards. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. And as always, go Jets.